Robyn, thank you for joining us here today.
My pleasure, good to be here.
And you are a very active alumna of this university, but how did you first decide to come to UNC Charlotte?
I came down here, I fell in love with the environment. I love the fact that at that time, believe it or not, it was about 10,000 students. And I just felt like I would be more embraced in terms of my academic career. So came down here, like I said, fell in love and ended up staying on 4 years.
And what did you major in while you were here?
I majored in math, and that was a weird choice for me as well. I did not like math, but I wanted a career that was challenging, something that I wouldn't get bored with. And so I parlayed a math degree into work in computer science, and that's pretty much what I've done for the last almost 30 years.
So UNC Charlotte prepared you well?
Very much so, very much so. I feel like, you know, out of all the schools that I could have chosen to go to, that I made the right choice.
And then you have continued to be engaged with our university, and one of your most recent roles was on the Alumni Board. And how did you get on the Alumni Board? What inspired you to continue your relationship with our university?
Well, one of the things that was real interesting is when I left UNC Charlotte, I went to grad school at Wake Forest. And while I was at Wake Forest, I also fell in love with that school as well. And when I graduated, I got very engaged in alumni. And then I thought about it, it really didn't make sense for me to have graduated from UNC Charlotte and had the great experience that I did and not be engaged with the university. So I found out, it was probably the mid-1990s, that they were looking for folks for the Alumni Board, and so I reached out to some people. I think Donnie Coons may have been president at the time. So I reached out and I just said, hey, I want to be more engaged with the university, and so I just put my name out there that way, as well as they were forming the UNC Charlotte Black Alumni Chapter at that time, so I got engaged there as well. So it's just been, you know, me following my passion for the university into fruition by doing, you know, all these various volunteer activities around the Alumni Board.
Well, you also held the role as president of the Alumni Board, and, you know, what initiatives did you accomplish during your term that you're especially proud of as president?
My favorite initiative is working with the deans. One of the things that I don't think a lot of people realize is the talent that we have within the various colleges. So what we did is we set up meetings with all the deans, and we just talked to them about what we were, meaning the Alumni Association, and how could we partner with them in developing programming to help put UNC Charlotte back on the map. We have a lot of alumni who are not engaged, and it's great for them to know what the various colleges are doing, and we just thought it was a great partnership to have the Alumni Affairs Office and the various colleges work together on programming. So that's my favorite initiative during my tenure.
Now, you have turned your success as president of the Alumni Association Board and have now moved on to the Foundation Board. And what are you working on with the Foundation Board?
Right now, we're working on a number of different projects. The one that we're most interested in is trying to get folks more aware of what the university's about. So we're working with various folks in the marketing communications area to get collateral out about UNC Charlotte, what the makeup is of the university, and how people, not just alumni, but how people in the community as a whole can contribute to the university. So that's one of the initiatives that I'm most fond of.
Well, you're also using that. You've recently started a mentoring program, and can you just tell me a little bit more about that?
Okay. The mentoring program was just a brainstorm one day. I started thinking about how students are developmentally lacking in terms of how to go out and be more professional when they get into corporate America. So I brought the idea to Dr. Greg Davis and LaShonda Murphy, who are both associated with the Black Alumni, and we were talking about it at one of our Black Alumni retreats. And there was a young man by the name of Fabian Elliott, who was also part of our Black Alumni Board, who was a student. And Fabian had created an organization called United Black Professionals. And so during the course of the conversation, he said, why don't we pilot the mentoring program with United Black Professionals? So Fabian and I ended up sitting together probably once a month and talking about what kind of programming to do. And we came up with the idea to do 3 programs. The first one was a career workshop, where we thought about what careers are out there that students may not know about. So we had a group of panelists, and they came from industries such as healthcare, energy, information technology, and export-import. So we had panelists come in and speak to all those topics, and the students were extremely engaging, and it was a well put on workshop and everyone enjoyed it. We also did a workshop on entrepreneurship to help students understand if they wanted to be entrepreneurs, where to get information. We had people from the SBA, SCORE, and we also had somebody come in and talk about social entrepreneurship as well. And the last thing that we did is we did a workshop on business etiquette or networking, and the main crux of that conversation was how to work a room. We had a speaker and it really turned out well. And so this year I'm really excited to be partnering with them again, and I'll be working with Terrell Kirby, and we'll be putting on similar programming for the students.
Well, Robyn, thank you for joining us here today.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.